Do you believe in a higher power when it comes to music? Like I've been thinking about this a lot since being in solo quarantine and having time to go crazy basically and let my thoughts run wild. I've been thinking about the spiritual aspect of music and whether there are forces at work with music that we don't yet understand. Like it's not quantifiable, but it brings people
Hmm.
together. Is there some sort of spiritual aspect to music that you subscribe to where it's like out of your control?
Yeah, I think I am kind of a spiritual person. And I think I do believe there's some thing beyond our understanding that connects us with music. Because I've always just felt like music is so unique that it can elicit an emotional response so quickly in someone, and even some like a life event or period of someone's life. If they listen to a song a lot and they hear the song like 10 years later, they can
Yeah.
recall that feeling and where they were at that time in their life. It's just, there's something about music that like is beyond, I feel like our total understanding of it. And I just know that, there is something there, uh, some sort of connection that we have with it that is probably beyond our total understanding right now. But that's why I love it. I mean, I love
Yeah.
feeling that connection when I make music. I love feeling that connection when the fans are responding to the music. It's like, it's an electric feeling that you really I can't emulate that in any other aspect of my life.
Yeah. I feel similarly where there are moments recently where I've heard a song and I'm instantly transported back to a time 10 years before where I'm driving over a bridge or something. I don't know where, but I can just picture it vividly, or
Mm-hmm.
walking across campus and I'm like, "Oh, I listened to this song always walking from the dining hall to the library," because like I'm seeing that path when that song is playing. So I'm like,
Yep.
there needs to be something more with music that we don't understand yet, because it's not just normal memory, it's like inducing something.
It's like, yeah, it's inducing the memory, and it almost can induce like the feeling of that time period of your life
Hmm.
too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, I'm sure everyone's done it, but like you go through a breakup and you avoid
Hmm.
songs that remind you of that person, or you go through any sort of negative experience, and you avoid the sounds or songs that remind you of it. And then same thing for positive. You want to feel positive, you put on songs that make you feel better.
Exactly. Exactly. That's also why I feel like even during quarantine, there's a lot of, I feel like I'm noticing a lot of people and myself are listening to like older catalogs of music, like back catalogs,
Hmm.
trying to like almost get back to a place before the pandemic, and the place that feels like comforting and familiar.
Yeah. No, I've seen that in some other artists too, where the album that Machine Gun Kelly just put out with Travis Barker, with like all those early 2000s
Hmm.
Blink 182 influences, like Alien Ant Farm, like I hear that music, and you could even kind of see it because he's been putting out videos in quarantine and he's fucking around with Travis Barker, and you're like, oh, it makes sense. He probably started listening to that music having nothing else to do besides, smoke weed, sit and listen and make music. And now he put out
Exactly.
this album that's just like tapping into that nostalgia.
Oh yeah, the nostalgia is very strong in that album.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of that old era. And even like one of my best friends who still is involved with the music project, he's like, I listened to this Machine Gun Kelly album, and I'm like thinking back on like thinking back to the music venue Chain Reaction, and wearing like tight jeans and
Yeah.
moshing and rocking out, and that it evokes all those same feelings of that old era.